the film.
Oh, 3 minutes over schedule. I think we're really close.
In fact, it takes over 12 minutes before they get ignition.
Hey, we got fire! Ta-da! Remember, kids, we're professionals. So, reality's 12 minutes versus the movie's 25 some odd seconds. Hey, we got fire! What do you think?
Well, what I think is that this magazine is because look how thick those pages are. And magazines are all different shapes and sizes.
So you think we should try a whole bunch of different kinds of magazines and see if they have different rates at which they catch on fire?
Exactly.
I love it. Let's do it. Lots of toasters now.
It's clear the real world magazine doesn't light up like its movie counterpart. So now the Mythbusters are on the trail of a
I want to make some money, guys.
Here, and working up the theory that different types of magazines composed of different kinds of paper are going to catch a light at different rates. We're about to put a half dozen of them to the test. Everything from our original magazine to something much harder to catch on fire, comic book, something probably catch on fire in like seconds. We're going to put one in each of these toasters, start this timer, and log how long each of them takes to catch a light. What could be more fun?
Well, with the 6 magazines in place, let the char grilling challenge commence.
We're experimentally doing something that should just never ever be done. I like that.
Fine.
Number 3, 1 minute 40 seconds.
This time around, it seems the contenders are a little quicker to toast.
2:20.
Yep. Here we go.
Number 4, 3 minutes 15 seconds. Oh, number 1, 3 minutes 20 seconds.
There we go.
There it is. 4 minutes 36 seconds.
And finally, bringing up the rear,
There it
is the original magazine at 12 minutes.
As we suspected, it does make a difference what kind of magazine is stuck in your toaster. The best case scenario is something that amounts to common newsprint, but even that took about 3 times as long as what it did in the movie. Interesting.
So it's clear that even with the best case scenario magazine, toaster ignition takes a lot longer than the 20 seconds it took Born. And now to test the next ingredient of this explosive combination, the methane.
Now, methane here is a natural gas, and it's most of it comes out of your stove at home to cook with. It's a flammable gas, but it's not flammable on its own. It actually requires a certain amount of oxygen.
So how's everyone doing this all the night? Part 3. I'm not actually I tried going to sleep. It didn't work out. I'll stay up a little later. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. I don't know if I'm going to bed, so I'll stay on for a little bit longer.
Fuel and oxygen. And when it comes to flammable gases, the amount of fuel to oxygen is a complex relationship called stoichiometry. Too much fuel or too little, and there'll be nothing close to a fire. But get the perfect mixture, and you get an explosion. Now, according to the movie, it took Born 20 seconds to get that explosive ratio of air to gas just right. So now the Mythbusters are dialing in to find out exactly what it is.
We know
So,
that
yeah, we're
to
behind
get
for a little
methane
bit.
to burn, we need a ratio of between 6 and 17% fuel to air. The ideal range is about 9% methane and the rest air. What we don't know is what that actually means. Does that mean if we are a little off, we get sort of a woof, but if we get right up to 9%, we're getting a real strong bang? Before we go full scale, we want to really know what we're doing. So what we've done is make a 10-inch by 10-inch by 10-inch cubic box. And that will allow us to really easily dial in on these ratios to see what it means.
And while Jamie is boxing, Adam has the ratios in the bag.
One of the ratios I want to play with is 9% flammable gas to air. This bag holds 9% of the volume of this chamber. I will fill the gas. I will then hook it up to the chamber, open up both of the valves, press the gas into the chamber. I'll be displacing air that comes out of this little hole right here. Seal it up, walk away, ignite it with a neon transformer, and see what happens.
Adam's bags will help the guys zone in on exactly what ratio of methane to air is explosive. And speaking of methane,
So that we can ignite this thing safely, we're going to remotely turn on this neon transformer that will create a high voltage spark inside the methane chamber. Here we'll be able to vary the methane concentrations, ignite it, and see what we get.
First up, a test at the very bottom of the stoichiometric zone, 6%.
We're good.
Okay, 6%. In 3, 2, 1.
We expected something and something happened. Our Frank's little box separated just as we hoped it would, and it's actually kind of a little bit of a. Oh. I was expecting a little more from an explosion, and I'm interested to see if our optimal stoichiometric ratio gives us that.
Me too.
Well, let's set it up.
Okay.
6% is explosive, but what if Bourne achieved the optimal ratio of 9% methane to air?
9% in 3, 2, 1. Well, that was more energetic.
9% was definitely more energetic, but for Adam, the surprising thing is that at both ratios, they scored the mythical explosion they're looking for.
This is awesome. We think that 6% means to see a small pop, 9% means we'll see a big pop. In this case, that's not the case. And that actually makes it look better for this myth. If we're getting a pop at the very lowest end of the stoichiometric range, that's making Bourne's use of this as a diversion technique more feasible. I'm not saying it's probable, but making it look more feasible.
Jason Bourne knows how to make an explosive exit. But could a magazine and a toaster really toast a gas-filled apartment? After getting to know their enemy in the shop, the guys are ready to go full scale.
If we're going to replicate the natural gas explosion in the Skies Apartment program, we're going to need clearly two things. Yeah, it's your own show. It'll open all sorts of doors. One is methane, natural gas, which is easy to get. And two is the guy's apartment, which we don't actually have. So come out to the bomb range where they got plenty of room. And in a few hours, we're going to build this guy's apartment. Not to code, we just need it to be a gas containment device that is in the shape of the apartment. But it will be properly appointed, I'm sure.
So to find out if you really can get a room to kaboom with just gas, a magazine, and a toaster, they'll precisely replicate the circumstances of the movie, starting with the apartment dimensions, 16 by 32 feet.
And you're here for the explosion?
With Adam and his minions working on the four walls, it's over to the Heinemann to provide cover.
I'm putting together the roof. How this will work is I'm just making 16 by 8 foot wide panels. I'm going to go ahead and skin them and everything. And then I'm going to lift them up with the forklift and put them on the roof. Screw them down. We have a roof.
Once the roof has been successfully raised,
It ain't pretty, but it's home.
it's time for the resident exterior decorator to take over.
After you blow enough things up, you start to look for aesthetic finesse in the explosion. I'll give you an example. First hot water heat painted that little house red. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? So we're gonna get the same treatment for this thing. We're gonna paint the outside lovely orange so that when it finally blows up, the high-speed shot will be especially gorgeous.
Well, it certainly will be explosively tangerine. And while Agent Orange gets ahead, Jamie is busy on the inside.
We need this room to be more or less airtight, or the methane we're going to pump in here in a few minutes will escape, and that wouldn't be a bad thing. To do that, I'm using packaging tape because it's quick, it's cheap, and I can remove it after we're done with this thing, along with the screws that we're using to build this room, because I want to recycle the lumber. I don't like to waste stuff. And of course, that is assuming that this isn't all splinters after the explosion.
Yep, as per usual, anything they don't destroy is recycled. It's the Mythbusters way.
I wouldn't call it livable, but I'd call it blow-upable.
It is blow-upable, and the final finishing touches are to furnish it before they step on the gas.
Excellent.
It's got a nice view here, you know, the valley out the window there.
Don't you just know that JB's gonna hate this?
The house may be complete, but soon it'll be filled with highly flammable gas. And in the event they don't get an ignition, Adams created this.
What I've got here is an exhaust system so that I can evacuate the gas from this room. Because one of the most dangerous things that could happen to us in this experiment is nothing. We found this when cell phone destroys gas station. We had a room full of gasoline fumes, and we didn't get into it tonight. And nobody wants to approach a room full of fumes. Hello, explosion. Hello. So, if nothing happens, I've got a switch I can turn that will start these fans all up and get all the gas out of this room so it's safe to do a reset. I think that's the last piece of puzzle. I'll get to a safe location.
And that's not the only safety precaution they're taking with this test.
This is our methane outlet, which has tinsel on it, which we will be able to see moving if gas is coming through here on our remote camera. This is our tank of methane, and we have a regulator and a flow meter attached to it. Now, this rig is set up to give us the same kind of input of gas into our house as you would normally have in a domestic gas line going into an apartment. Now, this valve here, I have with a line attached to it that goes to our bunker. And I'm going to pull on this line if there's anything that bothers me about this setting, because, you know, it's gas, it's flammable. If there's something we don't like, we want to be able to shut it off. And from this distance, I can safely pull the plug if there's something I don't like.
The list of things Jamie doesn't like may be a long one, but if the explosion of the movie is anything to go by, putting this myth to the test could be very dangerous.
That's a little post-birth thinking, but I think this is a fine experimental space.
It's fine now, but in a little bit, it's not going to be very happy in here.
not everything goes well.
No.
Well, shall we get started?
Yeah.
After you.
Thank you.
Here's the story of Tesla. Jason Bourne, knowing that the bad guys are coming, wanting to buy himself a little extra time for the chase, opens up the gas line of the